Okay, here we are in game number 1 of this best of 3 series. This is going to be the losers semifinal between you here in the blue Celestial and his red Vanguard opponent, Brave. Already we got a dog out here. This is some good early... Ooh, that was interesting. So I think that dog was trying to prevent the collection rate from going down, but maybe was just not close enough to the mine to do that. If you put your dog right up against the mine, you can't summon the building, if I understand that correctly. And yeah, the dog's just trying to scout, see what's going on, you know, trying to see maybe is there Therium, although it doesn't look like he can spot that. There we go, checking to see the Therium. Yes, there is Therium. Now, what does that tell him? Probably some tech play on the way. What kind of tech play? Not clear yet. Not clear to me, who doesn't play this matchup very much, but I do think it might be vectors. Now, of course, we need to see a creation chamber first, so we will see that going down. And it looks like Brave has opted for command post first, with a single bob on Therium. So 8 and 1, interesting. Plus now 4 bobs down here. So that's going to be 12 on Luminite, but 12 on 2 mines is going to be way more efficient than 12 on a single mine. And that's why we see that kind of expansion pattern. And what's that, our first rack? Yes, so our first barracks is going to go down. And there we go, a Starforge is out. And we also have a Vector being queued up, plus a Surge on the Starforge. So we are going to see Vector play coming out of you. And we'll see how Brave responds to that. Okay, now dogs are great for scouting. They're speedy, but they don't really want to get in a fight with a Vector. At least I don't think so. I think one-on-one that might be a Vector victory. Mostly just because the Vector should be able to kite it forever. And the second Vector comes out now for you. And do we see you going up to a third array? Yeah, so there's a third array on the way. And is it still... Oh, nothing coming out of the Arc ship at this point. Maybe it's all of those resources may be being used, or saved, I should say, for these Vectors. And also at this point, you is having to micro quite a bit to creep these Shadow Masses while keeping his Vectors out of damage. Third Vector on the way. Third creation chamber, or third collection array already up. And it's a mech bay. We got hedgehogs. We got one hedgehog on the way. And this scout dog returning home to tell his boss what he sees. It looks like another morph core maybe for a fourth array. Well, these Vectors are going to do what? Some creeping? Guess we'll see. We don't see another Starforge yet. We just have the one surged with Vectors coming out of it. And actually no fifth Vector queued up. That might just be waiting for an opportunity. Or we might be seeing some kind of tech switch here. Still nothing out of that. Did we see... Okay, here we go. It's creation chambers going down and back home, as well as roll out. So we're going to see Kreese augment these Vectors. So the Vectors are out. They're going to take out the dog. They're going to be annoying and try and take out this habitat. Hedgehogs here also trying to use their speed to try and get some damage on the Vectors. Now the Vectors are going to try and creep the health count, so the Hedgehogs take that as an opportunity to try and push them away, and they are successful at doing that, so the Hedgehogs are able to creep. The Vectors looking to be annoying and come back in here. And there's just not enough vectors yet, I think, to do critical damage to a hedgehog, and we saw one of those vectors actually get taken out. And like I said, we saw the rollout upgrade. Let's see. No other upgrade. Wow, up to 4? Is that the 5th chamber? Yes, 5th chamber. Another arc ship going down for you. And the vectors returning home, but now there are some Kree to join them. These are upgraded with their rollout. And then it's hedgehogs creeping on the other side. Okay, so we'll see how this composition is going to do against the hedgehogs. Now, I think part of what we are seeing here is the Kree. Their goal is to do a little bit of the tanking, so the vectors don't necessarily need to micro quite as much. The hedgehogs will have to micro against the Kree. That might just mean that the advantage slides towards the Celestial Army here. That's the hope, at least for you. And we'll see how Brave responds. Now, Brave is moving out. Wow, he's got 2 Vulcans. He's pulled the Bobs. This could be a little all in. We will see. There are, how many Bobs here? 5 and 8. So, rallied with 10 on Therium. That might want to... I want to put some more back on Luminite. I'm not sure, unless there's going to be a super heavy Therium push here with maybe more Vulcans coming in or something. Trying to get the Vector's trying to get here before the repair turret is up, but now there is a repair turret. This is going to be a point where these Vanguard units can retreat to. They're going to try and do hit and run. Ooh, wow. All these Kree and Vectors get on top of them. They have to run back, taking so much damage. Now the Vulcans are lining up and being in a good position. They can mow down Kree, they can mow down Vectors as long as they can just stay there and coil up their gun. We see the repair turret getting taken out, but both of those Vulcans staying alive and doing so much work. The Bobs behind them just trying to hug them, and again, if they just sit down there while these other units try and move into them, they can just lay down that splash damage on them. Ooh, a nice jump jet forward. They didn't actually get some stuns on those units. Mowing down an Argent, taking out a power bank. And this push might be it. Brave's got it with these Vulcans. There's not really an answer yet for you. And as a result of that, we're going to see some of these forward buildings going down. This creation chamber is going down. Hedgehogs chasing the Vectors back up into the base. And Brave not wanting to let you get back in it, pushes back up into the base too. He's now right on top of the production. We see a Sovereign's Watch down, and it's just not going to be enough as the Bobs are healing that Hedgehog. Kree come forward to try and push the Hogs back, but they only momentarily step back. Okay, here we are into game number 2, and we have here our blue Celestial player, you. His opponent, the red Vanguard player, is Brave. And Brave managing to win that last game with just a really good timing attack with 2 Vulcans and a handful of Hedgehogs and a repair turret. And there was just nothing that you was able to do. You had committed to Vector and Kree Tech, and both of those units are unfortunately not strong against the Vulcan. And that was the tale of that game. So we'll see if they change their strategies up here. I think if I was Brave, I might try that again. It worked one time, maybe it'll work again. But if I'm you, I might be trying to figure out ways I can counter that. Again, this dog here trying to be annoying. Now we see the dog on the map, or on the mine rather, trying to stop the base from going down. And just gonna stay there long enough till he gets low on life, then runs out, finds one of those cabbages, chomp chomp, and there you go, back to full. More dogs out, so slightly different play here coming out of Brave. Now remember, last game Brave opted for fast eco and went with the command post first. And I wonder if there's just a little bit of metagaming here going on, in the sense that on this shorter rush distance map, Titan's Causeway, he went eco to open and then used that to a rush. Now on Lost Hope, where there's maybe more of a macro opportunity, at least, he's gone quickly into dogs. Now, a little indecisive. It looked like he was going to run across the map, but then decided to come back and take the health cap first, which I can't blame him. I wonder what his choice was. Maybe do I take my opponent's health cap, or do I take my own? That might have been the choice in his mind. And part of that is by taking your own, you're only giving up your location. The Celestial might not have scouted you yet, might not have scanned. So now the Celestial knows the location. But if you take your opponent's, you might be at risk of being jumped on by some units, or maybe being spotted. So if you are planning to do some aggression after this, you're basically forecasting your hand. But instead, it looks like Brave is trying to creep this camp, and there's a single Vector out here that wants to be annoying and get on it, and I'm not sure who wins that, a pack of dogs or a Vector. Vectors, of course, can micro, but I think the dogs might be faster. Now that they have the lightning legs, look how speedy they are. They're going to get on top of that Vector, and they're going to surround it, and it's going to go down, not without cost. At least one dog going down there, but there goes the Vector. So far the dogs are paying for themselves and being a good choice early on in this match, and now we see how he's going to take advantage of that even more by getting on top of another speed camp. Get this speed camp. Now he'll have double the passive speed boost, and on top of that, get the lightning legs again over here if he soaks up after capturing the camp. Now, unfortunately, it looks like he lost another dog, and another Vector out on the map trying to get some damage done. Kills another dog, and in fact, this is actually not as bad as it might seem. As long as the Vector can get kills, he's getting kills on some of these dogs that have earned veterancy. And that's just going to keep that veterancy away, and maybe every dog that was killed there means another dog that won't be part of this hogs and dogs combo that we're now starting to see. Two hogs joining. There's only 2 dogs left though, but there is only a single Vector, so 2 Vectors going down in exchange for maybe 5 dogs. Not sure of what the cost value comparison there is. I don't remember how many resources those units cost. And it looks like now Brave is going to keep creeping on the other side of the map, sticking to some of these slightly easier camps for now, the health camps and the speed camps. That just means maybe less micro needs to be used, although we see a little bit there. But also these boosts are going to be highly beneficial for his units. Like an energy boost isn't going to help these units. The vision camp is always helpful, but for now, having control of both of those, that means double healing. That's going to be 1 hit point per second, if I remember correctly. We see that that's about accurate here for the scout. And also the double speed boost. I'm not sure if we can see where that double speed boost is. It doesn't tell us, I don't think. Maybe. There we go. Movement speed plus 0.7. I think that must be a 5% speed boost for each camp that you can control. That's my current guess, based on those numbers. And now up to a 3rd health camp captured. So again, that healing boosted yet again. Triple the normal boost with 3 camps. And here we see 2 Vulcans, so this looks like it's the same. I was going to say, where are the Bobs? These Bobs are actually going to build a command post, it looks like. So no Bobs pulled this time, just 2 Vulcans being added. I think they're maybe just being added to the comm. Although, no, this is a push. Dogs, Hogs, and Vulcans. There are 5 or 6 Vectors here. I don't think that's going to be enough. Now, with their micro and their kiting, they can get damage done. But when you have units like this, highly mobile kiting units, you want to engage your opponent's army out on the map. You don't want to engage them in your base, because if you are engaging them in your base, you often cannot, you don't have a lot of space to kite away from them, and you are usually forced to fight right on your ramp or right around your I was wondering what was going on here. It looked like he was maybe going to get that Therium camp, but no, jump jets used on the back door. This army is better used as an aggressive army, and moving right on top of some of the production here. focuses first the Starforge. Now that's where the vectors are coming from, of course. There's a Saber queued up, but these units change their mind. They decide to fight the units. Vectors going down. Now these Vulcans are susceptible to the Sabers, but the Sabers themselves susceptible to the Hedgehogs. So one Vulcan going down, but we see also one of the Starforges goes down. I assume there must be another one. Yeah, here there is on the low ground. And looks like Brave might be deciding, okay, I don't want to lose my other Vulcan, I don't want to lose my Hedgehog, so let me retreat from that. Damage done, killed some units, killed the Starforge. As far as supply is, it looks like U is actually a little bit ahead. That might have been a wise choice. I think part of what might have motivated that were the two Sabers there. The two Sabers are definitely dangerous against that Vulcan push. Now it's 3 Sabers here and a spread out army force for you to just try and keep this base defended. Do we have an array here? Yes, we do. So we're up to 4 arrays, it looks like. And now just the second base for Brave getting up and running. Now, of course, that's not necessarily a problem for a Vanguard player, but also for the fact that Brave has had map control and has taken so much income from these creeps. And again, taking another Ethereum camp here. Well, it looks like U has that was probably a evolution catalyst there, is my guess. To take that, we didn't actually see it, but I don't think a single vector took it out. Okay, so it looks like we're going to try and retake this camp over here. Well, now we do see you pushing out a little bit. Cabal's being added there. Can't tell if they have their adept training yet. They don't show that on their tooltips yet. That's something I wish we could have, is for spellcasters if they've had their training. This camp's retaken. Lightning legs. I guess there's not really legs on those hedgehogs. Lightning wheels. Lightning legs on the Vulcans. Now, it looks like there might be an aggressive move here, but yeah, Yu is already moving back his army. Yu might have been trying to push out himself, but sees these units here, although they retreat. So Brave just taking the camp and then retreating. Yu's going to retake it. Looks like Yu's also going to take that opportunity to knock down those trees just for easier access to his own base. Oh, there's a hedgehog there, that's why. Couldn't see the hedgehog there on the mini-map. He gets taken out, and now there's a little skirmish here, but there are 6 Sabers. That's, yuck, scary. Okay, so skirmishing over camps for now. And it looks like Yu's army is looking scary enough that Brave has retreated back. There have been Argents out on the map trying to recapture camps. Those Kree could be very efficient at that, since they are speedy. And, ooh, here we go. The Hedgehog's moving in. There is a blast node here. The Hedgehogs try and focus it down. We got double Sovereign's Watch. They have to get out of there. And they do. There's another base right there. Oh, but it doesn't look like Brave has spotted it yet. And these units are getting caught off. Kree on the other side trying to get a little bit of a flank. The Hedgehogs have to flee away from their own base, which is not good for them. These Kree in pursuit as the Sabers are moving straight into the base. So the Hedgehogs are not going to be able to rejoin here. And so many Saber shots going down on these Vulcans. One Vulcan down, even with the protective bubble, the shields up. That Vulcan had to retreat back, and now we're just seeing buildings going down as well. There's an Atlas in the back, putting down some pretty good damage, but already the Vulcans are lost. It's just 2 Atlases versus these Sabers. The Sabers do a nice spread. They get so many splash damage kills on those Bobs, and that's going to be GG from Brave. Alright, here we are in game number 3, and this is going to be a game played between Brave here in the blue Vanguard, and his red Celestial opponent is you. And they are going to play out here on Ruination. First time we've seen a map here, or seen this map in the pool. And again, this is being played out in the losers semi-final. Right after this will be the losers final, who will get to, I believe, meet high in the grand finals. Here we have a dog already eating this chicken. This is a creep chicken. Chicken creep, it says right on it. This is a older unit that shouldn't be on this map. It was placed there by accident. But in the old days, in the alpha and early beta, there were no actual creeps in this game. And instead you would just kill chickens to capture camps. And that's where that chicken comes from. And when the map builder, Frost Culpepper, I think that's his name, is one of the Frost Giants staff members. He built this map. When he built it, he put those chickens on, and he picked the wrong chickens out of the map builder. He wanted to put critter chickens on the map. Instead, he got creep chickens. And so what that means is they give you 15 Luminite when you kill them. And there you go. The dog is like, aha, I'm going to eat the chicken and get the 15 Luminite boost. 15 Luminite doesn't seem like a lot, and at my level of play, it probably means nothing. But at high level play, if you can get an extra 15 Luminite, it might mean you get your racks down a little quicker. It might mean you get your expo a little quicker. It might mean you get your units a little quicker. So definitely valuable to try and build things like that into your gameplay. Now, for you, we have one collection array there, but we are already up to the Starforge and our first vector out, our second vector on the way, and it looks like our third creation chamber, or third collection array on the way. Vector versus dog. The dog does not want to play that game, so the dog is running away. And it is another Rax coming up. Now, Brave last game went with the 2 racks opening and had a lot of dogs to start. Not looking like that's going to be the play here. Instead went for command post first, built the racks, but I don't think anything's come out of it yet, and instead it's got 2 mech bays. And the dog is, it looks like, out on the map trying to just being a little annoying by maybe getting some last kill or last hits. But I think missed that first Shadow Mastiff, and now these 2 vectors are probably dangerous enough that if they focus fire the dog, well, he's running around there, he might get taken out. So the dogs run away, the Shadow Mastiffs get taken out by the vectors, and you will claim this B camp. Dog returns home, says, what's going on here? Are you gonna build any units to help me? And out pops a hedgehog. Was this a sentry post? Yes, we got our sentry post. I imagine that's more going to be a repair turret for these mech units to come back to you and get some healing. And the vectors looks like maybe you're going to try and scout a bit here or get a little bit of harass damage. Trying to click on that healing cabbage, which is bugged out and no one can click on it. I haven't tried it myself, so I don't know exactly what the issue is, but I've heard that it's bugged out. It's hard to click on. So the vectors sail right up to the ramp and then decide, nope, we're out of here. We're just here to make you think that we're coming to do damage, but we're not going to. Hedgehogs and dogs head out to the health camp while the vectors are clearing the speed camp. So again, they're going to have 2 speed camps. So like we saw in the dogs last game, it's now the vectors that are getting that 10% speed boost. Let's see if we can see that down here. There we go. Move speed 5 plus 1.5. Okay, that's more than 10%. So maybe I was wrong. Maybe it's not a percent based. Maybe it is something else. I'll have to look into that maybe on Wikipedia. And now there's getting to be a critical mass of vectors that they can just straight up smoke some of these camps. They take out the vision camp. There are 2 more vision camps on this map, but I feel like they are less commonly taken. They're not sort of immediately taken. I don't know what the value of that positioning of the vision camps are necessarily. Like, of course, getting the income from the shadow demons can be helpful. I think the idea there is to have vision on your back rocks here. And we do see these hedgehogs of Brave coming to take that out, so we'll see that. And now, only now, these vectors are going to go back and take out the health camp. This is another strategy I think we'll see more of in the meta. This camp is often the first one taken because it's close by. It's gives you that healing boost, but it's safe. So if you can be a little aggressive early on and go take camps across the map, that you might be able to steal some from your opponent and then go back and take this one. Because it's safe, you're more likely to not lose it, especially on Ruination here where it's a pocket camp. Okay, Dog looks like he's going to come and try and take this vision camp, but he's not going to have time to do that before this army shows up and pushes him away. He does get away. More Dogs and Hogs showing up. Dogs and Hogs versus Kree. I'm not sure how this works out. We're starting to see those Kree go down. And now it is the Hedgehogs that look like they have the advantage. We see a shield down on one of those Hedgehogs. And now the Vectors are in full retreat, but the Hedgehogs can just stay right on top of them. The Hedgehogs appear to be much faster. And they are taking out Vectors. Vectors are going down. Oh, even more Vectors going down. Now I wonder if does that mean they're not upgraded? I think they have Delta Jump right from the beginning, but they do not have their recall yet. But I think the recall, when you get that upgrade, you also get a speed boost, and that might be what keeps your Vectors alive a little bit better. Now the Hedgehogs and Dogs are right in the base. They do respect the Sovereign's Watch and retreat after killing a single power bank. Now they're on top of the Starforge, and this is bad news. There's going to be no more Vectors coming out, although it's just Kree, and Kree might be the right answer here. Unfortunately, it's red power for you. And the Hedgehogs retreat. They're a little bit low. Some are, at least. It looks like they're just going to do some more creeping. We do see a third base going down for Brave here. And High had this third array for a while. Now, is there a second arc ship for High? No, he often will do that, but he doesn't look like he's put one down. He does have an arc station out. And we're starting to see Cabal be added. Now, Cabal, with their Debilitate, can be the answer to the Hedgehogs. They can slow down the Hedgehogs. And with Gravity Flux can also basically kind of stasis them, hold them in place while they can get focus fire down, or hold them in place while maybe the rest of the units retreat, and then you can pick them off. So that Kree trying to take the tower gets taken out. And this force, if it could get under a repair turret, would be great. What's that? What's going on there? Like Kylo Ren is here. He's frozen that in time. That's my Star Wars reference for today. A couple interesting bugs we've seen in the cast today. A few units that just seem to have bugged out, not done anything, done what they're supposed to. Of course, that could be player issue, maybe placing them on move command or something instead of attack. And then we see that rocket. Here he is, still there. We'll check it out later, see if that rocket's still there. My guess is it will be there until the end of the game. Now what's interesting is that Brave has not yet, well, this just respawned as I clicked on it, but has not sort of taken the speed camps from you. These dogs, ooh, getting caught in kind of a choke there, and the Saber was able to get, oh no, that was a free Saber, and the Hedgehogs are going to try and jump on another one, but that Saber does manage to retreat away. The Kree are dangerous and need to be respected, but the Hedgehogs are speedy. They get around, they snipe another one. Vulcan's appearing on the flank, allowing to get some pretty good splash damage on some Kree, and a lot of Kree going down there. This is not looking good for you, as this army's going to push up the ramp. Can they get that other Saber? No, the Saber moves back. Another one coming from the low ground. Yeah, good micro. Do not allow it to rally up into the high ground and get taken out. But these hedgehogs are going to see it. They scoot down. They take it out as well. And now it's Vulcans doing a lot of the tanking. But there are 5 Vulcans here. That's a lot of tanky. Not to mention the splash damage they can push out. They are going to respect the Saber in the back and the Sovereign's Watch and pull out. There are 3 remaining hedgehogs, so yeah, the Vulcan. This is probably a good play from Brave to preserve those Vulcans, keep them alive, maybe even get them repaired back up while he rebuilds his hedgehog army, which can really help support them. He's getting chased across the map. Where's that guy going? Just trying for safety. There is a cabbage right there. He might go eat it. Kree gets into the mineral line, but there is a buzzsaw cannon there, so I'm not going to do much against that. And the Vulcans decide, let's take this out. It looks like our Kree buddy did eat his cabbage, but he's just chilling up there. And wow, just mowing down some shadow demons, recapturing this vision camp. We have, oh, it's a base here. Is this a base too? Almost a base here. So you did, take some damage in that push. It was a largely unit damage, but has been able to keep the eco up. And it looks like Brave is going to keep trying to get the creep advantage here. Has put a 4th base down, almost finished it. And now might be trying to, find some of these further arrays. A lot of those hedgehogs are low, super low. Pulling some bobs or making a repair turret would be really helpful for this army. What is this Saber doing? For real. That's got to be a misrally or something. The Saber just hoping not to get spotted. We do have an array down here, and these hedgehogs are speedy with their lightning wheels off of the speed camp. They just zip right up here, take it out. The Vulcans are like, I'm not even going to walk up there, then I'll have to walk back down. No, I'm not going to do it, so they just stay on the low ground, let the hedgehogs take it out, and it looks like more creeping here from Brave. Although this is Brave's advantage right now. He's got the supply advantage. His eco, he's taken out 2 of these bases now. He's just going to head on back. Maybe he does go back to the repair turret now. I really think a forward repair turret would have been beneficial. Yeah, here he goes and hangs out by the repair turret. Atlas is added. Sentinels added. This is a scary looking force now. Is that 4 Atlas? I see 2 here. 3 Atlases. Wow. This is going to look scary. And pushing out. No evacs joining there. The evacs can just help you micro those Atlases a little bit better. But this army doesn't look like it's really that kind of force. It's not going to be microing those units as best they can. It's got a large force that's probably going to go toe-to-toe. You can see those Atlases probably just sieging up in the back and trying to get as much splash as they can. Sides being added too. Sides used to be the answer in the earlier patch, but I think they're just not considered quite as strong anymore. May need more changes to bring them back into a feasible composition. I think it's the Sabers that are going to do a lot of the work here, as well as the Kree are going to be doing some tanking. Now we got a shields up on that forward Atlas. The Atlas moved forward, but then got the shield. And now it's just, like I said, kind of a toe-to-toe. The Vulcans are trying to do some tanking. They do jump jet forward. The Sabers are focus firing them down, and a lot of Vulcans are dying. The tanks in the back are getting some good shots, but the Sabers stay alive. And I think we needed a little bit more micro out of the units for Brave to get on top of those Sabers and try and take them out. No hedgehogs here. Unfortunately, this mech army, because it's slow, is now going to kind of get cleaned up. Wow. Not looking good for that push. That certainly was an advantage for you. Now Brave still seems to have the supply advantage, so we'll see if he can get something out of this. No, okay, some Atlases here, but Atlases do not do very good against size. They can get some shots down on those sabers, and we do see sabers going down. But the Scythes are floating right on top of them. Just boom, bye-bye Atlases. And still, not favorable trades for Brave. Not favorable at all. Maybe this Scythe and Saber army is going to be the answer. More Hedgehogs. I feel like they might need to siege up, but no, the Sabers are going to get so many shots on them. They melt pretty quick. We got that Atlas going down. These Vulcans are really not the answer to this composition at all. Really, it's going to be more Hedgehogs that he needs to build. I'd almost go pure Hedgehog against this. The Hedgehogs will do well against the Sabers, and then they can siege up against the side. And yeah, this has been an interesting turnaround here for you. This army pushing forward and just melting anything that Brave has been able to put in front of it. And it's not a huge army. It's 6 Sabers plus these Scythes. But it's been enough to push back the mech. And now Yu's almost going to have the supply advantage. He's been behind for so long, but he might get into it, especially if he can melt this army. Here's what I'm talking about. Lots of Hedgehogs. That's what we need to see. Boom. Sabers going down. More Hedgehog, or more Sabers getting focus fired here. Another one's going to get hit. Yes. The Kree doing a good job of cleaning up those Hedgehogs, though. And the Scythes are still on top. I don't think we need more Vulcans here. These might still be the same from before, but the Vulcans not doing a lot other than maybe cleaning up the Kree. So they are going to do well against those Kree. We see them turn in and fire on the Kree, doing a good job. Sentinel gets unfortunately just sniped. Not sure if the Sentinels are the right answer. They can be helpful against the Sabers. I don't know if you can stasis air units. Stasis drone. Something I'd have to see to verify. But again, another force pushed out. Tried to do its damage, but it gets pushed back. And these Kree actually are helping because they're an answer to... They're the answer to these Hedgehogs, sorry. Yeah, see as they quickly surround that one. They're just nice and speedy. And there is that buzzsaw turret in the back, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. Now we're getting a huge flank with overcharged Bobs coming in. Bobs are pretty brutal. They can live a long time, but I don't know if they really want to be fighting exploding Kree. Ah, that's scary. And yeah, can these Bobs get the final pushback here? It looks like they were able to clean up the ground force, but they cannot punch air. They cannot punch up into the sky just yet. Now these Hedgehogs, there we go, sieging up. I'm like, where's the siege? We get the siege right by the mineral line. And did they get, ooh, very low sides. Very low, but they weren't able to take any out, it doesn't look like. So incredibly effective push from you there. Now, if Brave can make an effective tech switch here, he's going to be able to get back in it. I think his economy is in a better place. Remember, he took out those bases. He's got bases. So, and despite that push from you being quite devastating, he wasn't able to get actually on top of production, clear out Bobs necessarily. And, I mean, a lot went down in that overcharged Bob rush, but I just think Brave might be able to get in it. He needs to have some kind of change in tech, I think. I like the Hedgehogs versus most of this comp, but what do you do against those Kree? I think that's what those Vulcans are for. They've just lost their effectiveness. Maybe even, I don't know, Lancers or something. Dogs, I don't know. I really don't have the answer, but I think Pure Hog might not be able to do it with that many Kree helping to zone them. Okay, now it looks like you is going to try and get into some of the production. They're focus firing the sentry post. The Sabers from the low ground are able to get a lot of good, nice splash on these Bobs. These poor Bobs are going to go down. You might see this base go down, but we do see the units of Brave trying to catch some of these rallying units. They find this arc ship out, arc station, arc ship. This must be the second arc ship. It gets taken out. And like I said, the Kree show up and they're just kind of hard for the Hedgehogs to deal with. Hedgehogs are great against almost everything here. except these Kree. And you see how they're just ignoring the Kree, trying to get on top of the Sabers? They just want to get those high-cost units, but it's the Kree that keep pushing them back. Really well played out of you so far to take his composition and make the most out of it. I think we're starting to see Brave fall back. These sides are still here doing some damage. And yeah, the tides are starting to turn into Yu's favor. This base might be a goner, although these Bobs are still doing their best to protect it. More Hedgehogs being added. I saw slow-moving units. I'm like, is that a Vulcan? Yes, we do see a Vulcan being added. So I'm not sure the Vulcans are, you know, going to be able to do as much as they did in the early game there. But there needs to be some answer to these Kree. And that's what this Vulcan is. Actually, this Atlas also will be a nice answer to them. The Hedgehog's trying to, again, flank and snipe some Sabers, which they do, but so many Hedgehogs go down as a result, and now it's, again, this whole army, it looks like, for Brave is going to be taken out. Last time this happened, it turned into a push from Yu, and this time Yu's actually not going to push the main, is instead going to try and take out this more vulnerable base, and this is going to be taken out pretty easy, even with all those overcharged Bobs trying to repair it. Oh my goodness! Got it almost down, and then they decided to change, and folks fire the Bobs, which might in the end be the better choice. So many Bobs going down. Good micro from Brave to take all of those units out. And this is going to be the end of this base, at least. Now what do we have here? Some Hogs out on the map trying to maybe make a play. Thought they might try and go snipe a base themselves. But no, they're heading back home, and this army is straight up on the warpath. They want to kill bases. They've killed one, they've got the Bloodlust, and here they come. Well, actually, they're going to take a moment to kill some Shadow Demons, because why not? They gave you money. Give you the little vision. Now we can see, hey, there's a base there, I want to take it out. There's also a scrapyard here. But no, they're going to go straight for this command post. We see the Bobs turn and try and build a sentry post, but the command post is already down. The Bobs say, no, wait, we're going to abandon that. I said sentry post is actually a habitat. That might have been a misclick. And the Bobs instead say, fine, we're going to join the army. We're going to get on healing on our auto repair, and we're going to join our mech army, and this might be the final battle here. We got some Vulcans here trying to clean up the Kree so that the Hedgehogs can get out and do damage to these other units, but no, there's just too much here for you. All these units getting cleaned up. This one hero Vulcan taken out, and that's GG from